I love this idea of this Spotify playlist of human interactions. I mean, you could take this to so many different levels. As experts in your field, you speak a lot at conferences, you give interviews, and I'm sure the questions tend to be often the same. So what are questions that you are not asked enough and that we should be asking you, and why?
I think the question that almost no one asks is, what can we do to help you make this vision come to life? And especially, I can very much relate to everyone here. We're all pioneers. Some of us are immigrants, and then you are in an ecosystem. And then it's very important that people have diversity in entrepreneurship, diversity in finding the solutions and making things possible for entrepreneurs like myself and you. And why not? Because if we don't help other people to rise as well, we might not tap in all the solution power that the world is giving us. And I think that is very important, that we always ask ourselves these questions.
From a technology standpoint, I think it's we are all dreamers and we come up with all this technology vision. But I think the biggest hurdle is always adoption curves. And, the leading edge is also the bleeding edge. And so many times you actually fail because you are too early. I've had many moments, many times in my past 25 years in the Valley where I was too ahead of the time. And so we need to address what can we do to create that change management and be able to take people from here to there in terms of all this new fantastic technological innovations that are coming in. But we need to address the human side of that technology innovation to be able to take people from where they are. Otherwise, we can all dream up stuff, but we will also fail from an adoption standpoint because not everybody is ready to change.
Actually, just bouncing off that a little bit, I'm very interested in the whole field of venture philanthropy because a lot of the coolest things need help early on, and they're very speculative. And I think philanthropists need to increasingly realize a lot of the coolest stuff is speculative, and they need to have lots of speculative bets, some of which may not scale. And so the whole notion that impact is necessarily at scale misses the point of the early cool stuff may not be at scale for another 5 or 10 years. But I'd love to have more philanthropists imagining and asking about what should we be investing in now that may be at scale 5 to 10 years from now.
In my case, a lot of people ask about the future in terms of digital experiences, no? And I think the most successful spatial experiences will be associated with stronger connections between people, no? So to me, a very interesting question is, what should we be building right now to prioritize for those stronger bonds? And if we look back in time, in the last 200 years, yes, we've seen profound progress in communication, right? Telegram, the phone, the internet, and the video calls. But we are still, if you think about it, very limited to two senses, right? Sight and sound. And one of the things that I learned when living as an immigrant and last year during the pandemic is that I was very well connected with many people, but on a superficial level, right? We like each other's photos, we comment on new events, and even talk to each other over video calls if we want, right? But to me, over the years, those Zoom calls, those video calls became a reminder of how really distant I was from the people that I care about, right? Immersive experiences, yes, will be immersed and merged with our surroundings, but this is a core belief that we have. We believe that only if those platforms are able to transmit much more than just sight and sound, those platforms will become the shifting paradigm technologies that the Telegram or the phone or the internet were at their time, right? And this is something that we deeply believe.
I think one of the things that we get lulled into a little bit is we don't realize that the pace of change keeps increasing. If we go from the original internet in 1970 to the World Wide Web, there was a pace of change there where Apple Computer came out in 1978, and it slowly grew with PCs. And then when the World Wide Web came in, it got faster, and then with mobile phones, it got faster. Now it's going to get faster again. But there's the big problem that we're not talking about, and that is half the jobs are gone in the next 5 to 10 years. They're gone. And so we have a massive problem at a government level on reskilling and training and income distribution and other things. This is going to hit every developed country harder because all the white-collar jobs and all the factory jobs are being wiped out by artificial intelligence and robotics. And we don't have the social programs to handle that. And it's not coming like from the World Wide Web till today is 25 years. And from the mobile phone to today is 12 years. But this stuff is coming at us in 5 to 7 years. I mean, from 2030 even until we're going to see a massive disruption. And so what Karl's doing, and I think what Michael's doing around new kinds of education, new approaches, these are going to become central because how do we really help our society deal with this massive impact? It isn't just cute little VR devices we're building. These are holograms. We're going to be living inside an artificially intelligent, driven hologram that's organizing our supply chains, our ports, our hospitals, running our factories, running our warehouses, everything. Oh my God. And nobody knows it. Not hardly even anybody on this call. You kind of hear about it. No, it's coming faster and more powerful than you can imagine, like a freight train, like a tsunami. And we are not prepared for it. And it's going to cause a massive disruption at government levels, at social levels. That's what's coming, guys.
Yes, I would like people to ask me more about, like, have a sense of urgency. Like, but tell me more. Tell me VR beyond games. I mean, that's just a part of it. And also, I would like people to take a more active role in defining virtual reality. We, the engineers, the programmers, yes, we're implementing it, but don't let us just define what it's going to be. In talking about, postmodernism and modernism and about, what is reality? This is a wonderful opportunity for all of us to define what is reality going to be in the future. Are we going to accept that the digital beings that are run by like Dan was saying, running by AI, are going to be accepted that as a real entities and all, and what are the implications of that? I would like to talk more about the philosophical and psychological aspects of virtual reality, because right now we're in a perfect time to actually, it's not new, it's not new, but what is new is all this engagement of all the society, living it together. So that's what I would like to talk more, and people tell me what they want virtual reality to